The Lives of the Saints by Father Alban Butler, August 5th. The Dedication of St. Mary, ad Nives. There are in Rome 3 patriarchal churches in which the Pope officiates on different festivals, and at one of which he always resides when in the city. These are the Basilicas of St. John Lateran, St. Peter's on the Vatican Hill, and St. Mary Major. This last is so called because it is, both in antiquity and dignity, the first church in Rome among those that are dedicated to God in honor of the Virgin Mary. The name of the Liberian Basilica was given it because it was founded in the time of Pope Liberius. In the 4th century, it was consecrated under the title of the Virgin Mary by Sixtus III about the year 435. It is also called St. Mary ad Nives, or at the snow, from a popular tradition that the Mother of God chose this place for a church under her invocation by a miraculous snow that fell upon this spot in summer, and by a vision in which she appeared to a patrician named John, who munificently founded and endowed this church in the pontificate of Liberius. The same basilica has sometimes been known by the name of St. Mary ad Prosep, from the Holy Crib or manger of Bethlehem, in which Christ was laid at his birth. It resembles an ordinary manger, is kept in a case of massy silver, and in it lies an image of a little child, also of silver. On Christmas Day, the holy manger is taken out of the case and exposed. It is kept in a sumptuous subterraneous chapel in this church. It is well known how much this holy relic excited the devotion of St. Jerome, St. Paula, and others when it remained yet at Bethlehem. This church is, at least next to Loreto, the most famous place in the whole world for the devotion of the faithful to the Mother of God. They here assemble with great fervor from many parts of Christendom to unite their suffrages together in praising God for the mercies he has shown to this Holy Virgin, and through her to the whole world, and in imploring her patronage and intercession. Supplications which are public and general are most honorable to God and powerful in obtaining his mercy. To say nothing of the precious relics of many saints which are there deposited, and the many great graces which, by the joint prayers of the faithful, have been there obtained for the whole Church, this circumstance alone suffices particularly to recommend the sanctity of this, and other such venerable churches beyond all that could set off the Temple of Solomon in the Jewish law. The Church, which is always solicitous by the mouths of her pastors to instruct her children in the most powerful means of attaining to salvation, never ceases, from the primitive ages, strongly to excite them to make their most fervent, assiduous addresses to the Mother of God as a most efficacious means of working their sanctification. She teaches us earnestly to conjure him who is the author of our being and of our salvation, to listen to her prayers for us, and humbly to remind him that through her he bestowed himself upon us, and that for love of us he vouchsafed to be born of her, she always remaining a spotless virgin, etc. She excites us to call her the Mother of Grace and Pity, and to place a confidence in her mediation, that by it we shall more easily obtain from her Son, and through his merits all graces. That Christian neglects a great means of succor, who does not every day most earnestly recommend himself, and his particular difficulties and necessities in his main concern, to her intercession. To render our supplications the more efficacious, we ought to unite them in spirit to those of all fervent penitents and devout souls, in invoking this advocate for sinners. We ought to be ashamed not to appear among the foremost and the most ardent in our addresses, in proportion to our extreme necessities and particular obligations.